Howdy, howdy. This is Attack, commonly referred to as the first level of the Master Levels expansion for Doom 2. This is the first ever Tyson demo for this WAD. Somehow, no one has done a Tyson of this one. There's plenty of other categories, but Tyson, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's a little long, but it's pretty easy. So, let's check this out. Again, Master Levels are a mixed bag. A lot of people don't like them. I like a lot of the Master Levels. Even the janky ones have their charm. But this one is just a really solid level. Like, you know, this is just a very, very solid level, and I really enjoy it. And I was looking at the boards for the Master Levels, just thinking like, which one, you know, would be good for a Tyson? Let me see what these times are. And not all of them have Tysons. Very few of them have Tysons. And this one, to me, seemed like the apex ratio of, you know, easy and undone. So I gave this one a shot. Now, the big thing about this level, again, with a lot of these Tyson runs, especially ones without chainsaw, without berserk, is that bullets are an important thing to manage. And there are a couple of monsters in this level that are pretty rough to deal with when it comes to bullets. You know, there's a pain elemental. Really hard to just like punch a pain elemental and not have that end up poorly. You know, you can if you can get them into a corner, but it's really hard to get this pain elemental. You'll see him in a corner. Right here, I'm trying to like avoid the line of sight for the pain elemental. I know we're hyping this guy up now. And kill all the rest of these guys so that they don't shoot me while I'm trying to take out the pain elemental here, which I am not doing currently. This is a Spectre, but again, you'll see. When it comes to fighting Spectres, I do a technique that I think is a little bit interesting because most people, when they play Doom, this is horrible, by the way. How the fuck did this happen? Most people, when they play Doom, they play with vertical mouse movement disabled, which in my opinion is a mockery of this game, and I think it's a hack, and I think it's bad, and you should feel bad if you play with vertical mouse movement disabled. And I don't do that. I play with it enabled. I'm being a little silly. Just calm down. And one of the features of that is you can very gently move the mouse backwards when you fight monsters like demons or specters. Anything that's melee, when it comes to dehacked or anything, is you can do like very fine movements with the mouse that are otherwise impossible to do with a keyboard. And so it's very, very, very good because you can just hold down fire and just like get as many direct hits as possible. And so I consider that to be a little bit of an advantage, but at the same time, vertical mouse movement was built into the Doom engine and required a hack of the Doom executable to disable it initially. So I think the fact that most people play with vertical mouse disabled, I mean, hey, those people aren't doing Tyson, you know, because they can't kill demons. They just can't do it. Or Spectres. Anyway, minor tangent there. You know, shout outs to the vertical mouse movement users. So this guy's a little bit rough, this Hell Knight. I try to get them to take as much damage as possible from outside sources, like this chain gunner over there that I awakened and an imp. And I don't quite remember what I'm doing here. Once again, when it comes to these kinds of Tyson runs where I'm trying to get this barrel and time some splash, and that was that was horrible. When it comes to doing a table filler Tyson, I've said this before, it's like the speed, you know, still a speed run, right? Hey, I'm speed running here. But the speed is secondary to just actually finishing it. That's what I like about challenge runs in general. And right here, I never had or thought about the Hell Knight coming in here. And so I got a little scared. I was like, oh, fuck, what do I do? There's plenty of bullets in here, by the way, which are really nice. But it turns out the Hell Knight is just a little bit too tall and can't actually come through. Because if you know about Doom, the doors, they have that 8 map pixel kind of thing. They don't go all the way up until the ceiling. And so that blocks the Hell Knight from actually being able to get through. There's also a monster block line there. So even if that wasn't the case, there's a monster block line. As you can see with this chain gunner. Right here, I'm trying to get this chain gunner to shoot at the Hell Knight. But it's not really working out. Once again, here's that vertical mouse movement superiority complex that I have is well underway here. This Lost Soul's doing a little bit of co-op action, but unfortunately, they're trying to steal my kill, and I don't take kindly to that around these here parts. Sorry, where's that chain gunner? Little bitch-ass bastard. So here, what I should have done is started shooting the Hell Knight first, is what I should have done. My idea that I had was to have the Hell Knight damage the Chain Gunner, and then I start shooting the Hell Knight before the Chain Gunner gets killed with a second shot. But then I realized, oh, they can just kill the Chain Gunner one shot if they have a high damage roll, and that's what happened. So I really should have started shooting this guy sooner with that in mind, so that the Chain Gunner could get into like an infinite shot combo, shooting at me, but the Hell Knight's in the middle while I'm just, you know, taking some damage off. But instead, because this is a pretty easy section, I decided to take a little bit slow and sure using the fist here. I switched to pistol just because I realized I do have a lot of pistol ammo right now. So at least get a couple shots on. I don't want to spend all day here. And I've said this before with other Tyson commentaries, but again, I really enjoy the Tyson category. I think it's one of the more interesting ones. It's a lot more, a lot less of the execution-based skill and a lot more of the routing and, you know, making do with like random circumstance type of skill that you don't see a lot in the other categories. Like for UV Max, for example, a lot of the times if you get bizarre RNG, like it can end up just killing your run because it's like, oh, I lost 5 seconds because enemies dispersed in this way and now the run's over. Whereas in Tyson, there's usually a lot more time, you know, lot more room to play with in that regard. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot more of reactivity to circumstance in Tyson compared to Max. And again, one of the reasons why I'm doing all these kinds of videos here is just to share my love of speedrunning Doom with other people, and especially all the miscellaneous categories. You know, if you're out there listening to this and this seems even remotely interesting, give it a try. Just look up a WAD with easy levels or something you've played that you know has easy levels, and just give Tyson a roll. You know, when you're doing Tyson with the intent of going as fast as possible, it can get pretty frustrating, and I've done those kinds too. But it's still, there's just something about it. It's a totally different way of playing the game that a lot of people do not experience this type of gameplay, so it's very fun. And again, another part about Tyson is when you get really good at Tyson, you learn so much about monster behavior, and you learn how the AI in this game functions, and that is an invaluable skill that transfers over to other categories. There's lots of skill transfer that you wouldn't expect from the Tyson category to all the other categories, but it's not necessarily in the other way. Like if you're really good at UV Max, you might not be that good at Tyson, right? But when you're really good at Tyson, it really does help get you a lot better at UV Max because it trains you on monster behavior, which is a major aspect of that too. This section here is a little frustrating. There's plenty of bullets, but there's also plenty of bad guys. And the Lost Souls are really the worst part because, again, Lost Souls do not count for the monster count, so just shooting them and wasting bullets on something that doesn't count as a monster, it's really kind of an obstacle. It just feels bad. It feels gross. I need to take a shower. But everything ended up fine, so don't worry about it too much. I do have to say I really enjoy the little sky ceiling here. I think it's very nice. Yeah. Just punch that guy into the corner. Fuck you, man. All of these monsters here in these like little dark alcoves are set to ambush. So you actually have to make sure you don't forget to like run around here and wake them all up. I did have a couple of UV Max runs when I was doing that for this WAD that I forgot to do that little ring around. And I would end up missing a guy back there. So gotta be very careful. Here I'm just making sure that all the enemies are dead before I enter this section here. This is where it really gets hard. I got to this blue door maybe 5 or 6 times, but I died in a tragic way almost every single time. In fact, every single time, except for this one. This is the first time I made it past this section here. Not specifically the Pain Elemental and 2 Chain Gunners, but the next section after this too. It's pretty rough. That guy's dead, thankfully. So I realized at this point that I do have actually plenty of bullets. I don't need to do this. And that's when I realized I just pull out this pistol. Because I look at my ammo count and I'm like, okay, I'm at 180. There's another 50 bullets there in the bullet box. I think I'm good to go. I think I'm good to go. And that's the thing also when it comes to runs like this, and when it comes to using the pistol, is if you skipped a bunch of enemies before this section, and then got that bullet box, the 50 bullets there, and then came back around and used the pistol instead of the fist on stuff like specters or demons, you would save a lot of time. but then that requires running past those enemies and that not haunting you in the end. So I chose the easier route here. You could absolutely get this demo under 10 minutes without even trying too hard. If you just did what I said and try to like speed run past some of the areas, make sure that you have high bullets, and then go back and use the pistol instead of the fist, that alone will save you 3 or 4 minutes if you do it properly. But again, no one else did this before, so I'm allowed to do it a little bad. That barrel was incredible. The fact that the demon blocked the Revenant into that section right next to the barrel was really, really good. It really is really good stuff. Very enjoyable to watch. Now this is on the opposite end of that spectrum. This is unenjoyable to watch. That barrel section, not so good. A little bit of conservatism on the bullets there. I don't know why. But also a little bit of me is like, you know, punching a Revenant without a Berserk hit, kind of cool. Kind of cool. And then I realized, you know, I don't really feel like doing this again. Let's just whip out the pistol. So yeah, so this is the first time I actually made it all the way to this teleporter. And you get the free blue armor there, which is nice. That section, pretty rough. You can get screwed pretty quickly if you're not careful about that with the Mancubus shooting at you, depending on their location and how fast their shoot time is. You know, again, there is a teleporter right behind you, so it's really just a matter of knowing when it happens and then backing up. But I did get pwned by that Mancubus a bunch when I was trying UV Max runs. So just once again, I'm checking for guys here. I just want to make sure that they're all dead. And then also, there is one imp through the window, but I don't think I end up shooting them through there. But yeah, I'm just going through. I went back the long way just to make sure that all the guys are dead. Because you don't want to end up in the situation where you don't make sure and then there's one guy somewhere. So right here, my goal is to get the Mank and the Hell Knight fighting. Once that happens, it's a free game. I think that should be it. No, it was not somehow. Okay, that was it. Was it? I don't know what the hell's going on. There we go. But at this point, I still have plenty of bullets to take down the rest of these guys. Again, the first couple minutes, you have to be pretty conservative with bullets. I'm sure you could route it to be better. Like I was mentioning, skip a bunch of guys at the start and then do a wraparound once you get more bullets near the end. You can do that, I'm sure, but I definitely chose the easier route for this. Just trying to get an exit here. It's the first one ever done, so get a little bit of wiggle room. There's one guy left up here. I could have shot him earlier. This is what I was mentioning through the window, but I chose not to. In other words, I forgot. But yeah, that's ATTACK.WAD. I want to say this is a Willits map, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that, though. One of the best master levels, one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites. And again, this is the first ever Tyson demo for it, so pretty cool. And if you think that this demo is bad, if you think this video is bad, one me up. Try it yourself. Free. It's free. I mean, it's free. Certainly, you couldn't possibly do worse than 12 minutes, 33 seconds. Could you? Is it possible? Nah. Is it?